Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tearing into the aggressively spec'd Realme P4x lineup. And guys, this is a truly incredible story of extreme performance battling it out against extreme endurance. If you've been trying to figure out where the smartphone market is heading when it comes to raw power versus battery life, well, you are exactly in the right place. Let's get into it.
But before we even start nerding out over the processors or the displays or the cooling tech, we really have to stop and ask a serious question. Is 8,000 milliamp hours the new standard for just never carrying a wall charger again? I mean, we're going to answer exactly how Realme managed to cram this much capacity into a modern device.
Section 1. Meet the Realme P4x, the 5G baseline.
So to really understand this family of phones, we've got to start with the 5G model's core identity. Realme basically built this thing to be a high-performance beast packed with what they are officially calling extra features. We're talking extra chip power, extra battery, extra cooling, and an incredibly bright display. It was designed from the ground up to push the absolute limits in its price segment, without compromising on the everyday hardware essentials you actually feel when you're holding it.
Section 2. Build for hardcore gaming.
Now, to target that hardcore mobile gaming crowd, Realme engineered a massive 5,300 square millimeter vapor chamber. The goal here is pretty simple. Your hands won't sweat, and way more importantly, your frame rates aren't going to drop while you're grinding at a solid 90 FPS. The phone just won't suffer from thermal throttling. And when you combine that kind of thermal headroom with dual stereo speakers that push 400% volume, you get an incredibly immersive, loud, and totally sustained gaming environment.
Driving this whole elite experience is the MediaTek Dimensity 7400 Ultra processor. And that tiny 4nm architecture is absolutely key here. It means the chip runs highly efficiently without generating a ton of excess heat. By pushing a fast 2.6 GHz peak CPU speed, it delivers sustained power while keeping the on-screen action flawlessly smooth.
And when you map the P4x 5G against the competitors in this specific price bracket, the differences are, honestly, pretty stark. A 1 million plus Antutu benchmark score absolutely obliterates rivals who are visibly stuck in that 600,000 to 720,000 range. Plus, it's bringing vapor chamber cooling and a 144 Hz peak refresh rate to the table, right where other brands typically cut corners.
To fuel all that raw power, the 5G model packs a massive 7,000 milliamp hour Titan battery. But honestly, the real game changer is the 45-watt ultra-fast charging paired with bypass charging. If you've ever felt your phone turn into a literal hand warmer while playing plugged in, this solves that. Bypass charging routes the power directly to the motherboard instead of the battery. The result? Cool, heat-free gaming that actively protects your battery's lifespan over the years. Pretty smart, right?
Section 3. Unbreakable and ultra bright.
Look, a gaming phone is useless if it can't survive the real world. The P4x 5G features reinforced corner protection, internal airbags, and a tough aluminum structure. It's actually verified to easily survive a 1.5-meter drop right onto rocks. It boasts MIL STD 810H certification, meaning it passed strict military-grade durability tests, and it has an IP64 rating for complete dust protection and resistance to heavy splashes. It is built like an absolute tank. And you definitely won't struggle to see the action when you step outdoors. The sunlight-readable display hits 1,000 nits of peak brightness. Plus, that ultra-fast 144 Hz refresh rate means scrolling literally feels like gliding on ice. And hey, if you're caught in the rain or just have sweaty hands from a super intense match, the moisture-resistant touch control ensures your inputs still register perfectly.
Rounding out the 5G package is a highly capable 50-megapixel AI camera. It shoots 4K video at 30 frames per second, which is fantastic for content creators on a budget. It also features this really powerful AI eraser tool built right in. You can just highlight photobombers or messy background clutter, and boom, remove them instantly, like they never even happened.
Section 4. The 4G battery behemoth.
Okay, let's pivot to the newly released global 4G variant. This is where Realme intentionally slowed things down to achieve something else entirely: relentless marathon longevity. We are stepping up from the 5G's already massive 7,000 milliamp hours to an absolutely absurd 8,000 milliamp hour capacity. Guys, this is a phone engineered for people who actively want to forget where they even left their charging brick.
To maximize that insane 8,000 milliamp hour battery, the 4G model intentionally changes up the spec sheet for pure power efficiency. It uses the Unisoc T7 2050 processor, which basically sips power, and it steps the display to a 6.8-inch HD Plus LCD panel running at 120 Hz. It runs on the newer Android 16 right out of the box, and, wait for it, for the traditionalists and audiophiles out there, it even brings back the beloved 3.5mm headphone jack.
Now, these models serve very distinct budgets and markets. The 5G launched in India at 15,499 rupees for the 128GB model, firmly placing it as a budget performance king. Meanwhile, the 4G just dropped globally, starting in Malaysia at a highly competitive 799 ringgit. But that's for double the storage at 256GB, making it a super aggressively priced endurance option.
Section 5. Which P4X wins?
So we have two completely different devices sharing one name. Both offer incredible value, and they both rock that rugged IP64 rating, but they force you to make a choice based purely on your daily habits. On one hand, you have the 5G, an uncompromised mobile gaming champion with ultra-fast display tech, vapor cooling, and processing dominance. On the other hand, the 4G sacrifices a bit of speed to be a dedicated powerhouse designed to keep you untethered from the wall for days at a time.
So the ultimate question I want to leave you with in this explainer is this. Looking at your own life and how you use your tech, do you demand raw gaming power and peak refresh rates, or are you chasing that marathon battery life where you measure time between charges in days, not hours? Will we ever see a single phone that truly masters both, or is compromise just the permanent reality of mobile engineering? For now, you've got to choose your fighter. Thanks for tuning in.